Hello and welcome. My name is John Ghazi, and in the studio this week we have two lovely ladies, and on a couple of conversation we're talking about their work with animals and about their lives here in Northern Cyprus. So it's going to be another interesting show. I'm going to learn a lot because we've literally just, literally met one of my guests minutes before this interview, and another lady that I've met before. It's good to see an old friend back in the studios as well. But we're going to be speaking with Sarah Jane Purcell and also Moyra Hassan. So first of all, ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, first of all, Sarah, I'd like to say thank you very much for agreeing to come down to Lefkoşa on such, on a whim, really. I just sent you a message on Facebook, and all of a sudden you said yes.
Yes.
And here you are now in the studios in Lefkoşa. Thank you very much for agreeing to come on my program. It's lovely to see you and meet you.
Thank you for having me.
Let's find out a bit about you. You're actually living in the Gazi area, is that right?
That's right, yes.
Where exactly? Are you in the town or are you outside in the village?
Just outside of the town in Marash.
Ah, a nice area.
It is nice, yes, nice and quiet.
Unusual location for somebody, I mean, I don't get to meet many expats who live in the Gazi area, although I think it's becoming more and more popular, especially Iskele, the Boğaz area, and,
Yes.
it's a lovely part of the island to live in.
It is, it's lovely. It's quiet, and we decided when we was going to move out here that we didn't want to be in with the English people. We wanted to be in the heart of the community and learn the culture and mix with everyone. So that's what we did. And we came out and found a house, and we've been here for 11 years since.
Where are you from originally? You have a lovely accent.
I'm from Derbyshire in
Derbyshire.
the United Kingdom, yes.
Very nice. And, we're going to find out more about you, but let's also say hello to Moyra, who's got an even lovelier accent.
Oh, thank you.
Moyra, welcome to the programme. Thank you for agreeing. I mean, you were here having lunch before with Sarah, and you were like her moral support, and now you found yourself in front of the cameras joining Sarah. Thank you very much for agreeing to be on the programme as well.
You're welcome, thank you.
Moyra Hassan, so can I now assume that you are married to a Turkish Cypriot or Turk?
Turkish, mainland Turk.
Making a Turkish, lovely. And you are originally from where?
Glasgow in Scotland.
In Scotland. So how does a bonny lass like you end up in North Cyprus marrying a Turk? I mean, did you meet in Scotland? Did you meet here? Where?
Neither, actually. We met in Gumbet on the mainland, a holiday romance that worked. We've been married coming up for 15 years now.
Lovely.
He moved over to Scotland. We lived there for 12 years, and then we moved over here 3 years ago.
And so you're quite relatively new to North Cyprus. And where are you based now? Where are you living?
Kayalar.
Kayalar, a lovely area as well of North Cyprus.
Yes, the other extreme from Famagusta.
Yes, very different areas.
Yes.
And we're going to find out your link in a bit. But let's go back to Sarah. Now, here you're in North Cyprus. What brought you here to the island?
My husband was here in 73, 74 as a very young army boy. And he said that he would always like to come back and retire here. And in between him and his friend, they made a bet who would get the house first. Unfortunately, my husband lost, and his friend bought 3 houses. And we decided we was going to come over on a holiday to come and check the place out, see if I liked it, if it was what Ralph was making out it was going to be. We got here, absolutely fell in love. Within 10 minutes, I don't want to go back. So
really?
It was
Wow.
absolutely stunning. So,
Amazing. So your husband was here actually near the time of the Troubles?
He was here in the Troubles, yes. He was helping get people out, women and children, from the
actually
city.
in July 74?
Yes.
Wow, so I bet he's got a few stories to tell.
Oh, definitely, yes.
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 Interesting. Maybe I might, make a call out for your husband to join me one day on the programme.
Yes.
But so after all those years, he actually, you decided to come out and live here.
Yes.
So the bet, even though he lost the bet, you still fulfilled your dreams.
Well, we won in the end because his friend doesn't actually live here. We do.
So you won. Eventually, you got the better of the
Yes,
friend.
of course.
So, as you said before, you didn't want to go into, an expat-populated region.
No.
So you found the Gazi area, and you're happy living there now in that area.
Yes.
What was your profession back in the UK?
I was a housewife to start with, and before that I worked in the designing industry, clothes. So it was all good, but I always felt there was something different for me, not being in the rat race, being in the UK, cold weather, wet weather. I thought, there's something different, and when my husband said, okay, let's go, I think it took us 9 months to pack the bags and come back here the year later after the holiday. And I've never looked back since, and I would never go back.
Really?
Really.
That's a lovely thing to hear. I mean, not everyone is so adamant about saying, I'm never going to go back, but
No, I
Obviously
mean, I
you're-
have family, I will go back to see the family, but
Yeah,
I
of course.
wouldn't choose to live back there again.
Right.
It's
okay.
just too much hustle and bustle for my liking.
Especially, I mean, when living in Gazi Mausa, I mean, such a lovely, quiet, it might be a student town because of the university there, but, you know, all the history, the beauty of the area, I think, you know, you don't want to go back to the hustle and bustle of UK life.
And of course, we live 5 minutes across from the border, so we can just pop on the Greek side every now and then.
Yeah, if
and
you want to,
yeah,
hustle and bustle
a little
of,
bit more life, we go on that side. If we want quiet life, we stay here. So it's
Excellent.
lovely.
Over the past 7 years here, what have you been, we're going to find out what you're really up to. I know you have a passion for animals and that's what we're talking about today. But, I mean, here now, I mean, can you call yourself retired with your husband here?
Yes, yes.
Is that how you'd like to...
Retired, but a full-time hobby.
Full-time hobby?
Yes.
We're going to find out about the hobby in a bit more detail after we chat a bit more with Moyra. Now, Moyra, so you came here with your husband.
Yep.
What brought you, I mean, because he's from Turkey, you could have lived in Turkey. What brought you to North Cyprus then exactly?
Cyprus is an ideal halfway house. It's got the British influence, but it's got the Turkish influence. So it meant we weren't going to either extreme. So this was an ideal place. And also, it's not on the mainland where his mum can just come and visit anytime she wants.
The mother-in-law.
Exactly. So it's a plane journey in between us, so it's ideal.
There's a saying apparently, well, in our community that it's the mother of the husband, that's the mother-in-law, you know, the horrible mum, as they say. So I can imagine...
But she's lovely, I mean, she is lovely.
I'm sure she is, I'm sure. It's just a bit of a joke there. But so here, you a bit of a best of both worlds,
Yes, exactly.
I suppose. More of a modern situation for you with, you know, the expat community here as well. And of course, the Turkish background for your husband.
Yes.
So you're living in Kayalar, and what was your profession back in...
Banking.
In banking? Obviously, you're not banking now, are you?
No, I'm
in
not.
Cyprus?
No, 33 years was long enough.
It's long enough. And are you happy? Are you also in a sort of retirement state now?
I am
here?
indeed, yes. Well earned.
Well earned retirement.
Yes.
You're both looking very happy and glowing. You know, it must be doing wonders for your health, living in such a relaxed place. Are you also happy here? No regrets about coming?
None at all. I mean, I would have been here sooner if it hadn't been for my mum. We bought the house in 2006, but didn't move out until 2012, mainly because my mum was still alive until December 2011.
Right.
So that was the only reason we didn't come earlier.
And so now here you are settled, and not thinking about Scotland anymore, going back there, or maybe...
Yeah, I mean, I still think about it, but no, like Sarah, I don't think I would settle if I went back again. I think once you make the move, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that is quite a personal thing to discuss, because some people have their links back at home, and if you've got one foot there and one foot here, it can be quite difficult to cut ties. But you're both very happy, and I appreciate once again your time on the programme today. And we're going to be talking about, and in fact, I mean, I have to admit this, I actually made a mistake. I was advised to contact Sarah via Facebook, via a friend, and I actually mistook the Sarah, and we were talking about this beforehand, and I realised, checking on Facebook, that I actually invited Sarah you know, under false pretenses. But she didn't realise, I didn't realise until right now, but it's actually fate, because I knew Moyra from before, and what you're talking about is very, very interesting. You were actually going to contact me, weren't you, in a short while, to become a guest on the programme. So you've actually met Denise Phillips, my colleague on the radio, so hopefully you'll be getting a radio interview as well in the future.
Yes.
But you are here to talk about FARC.
Yes.
Now, can you explain to our viewers what FARC means?
FARC is Famagusta Animal Rehoming Centre. It's a Belvedere-built shelter in Famagusta, which housing at the moment over 300 dogs, including puppies. We've been going for 1.5, nearly 2 years.
Coming up for 2 years.
Started off with 15 dogs in an old temporary shelter that was built, and we just grew and grew. And I don't think anybody actually realised how quick it would grow and how successful we would become. Obviously, dogs being dumped everywhere where they knew we was. The location had got out. So the Belvedere had a purposely built shelter, EU standard, in Famagusta to house all the other animals. We got to a stage of around about 100, just over 100 dogs at one point, and obviously it was too crowded for that amount of dogs. So we transferred them all up to the new shelter where we are at the moment. And they've continued building and progressing through what we needed to do. We've got an office, which will be a stroke surgery building. We'll have a on-site vet. There's 3 temporary staff at the moment, full-time staff. They work 8 till 3:30 every day. And basically rehoming as many as we can. We've rehomed to the UK, several dogs. Probably over 100 or so dogs rehomed here. And we do everything correct. They have adoption papers they have to fill out. They have to get the dog microchipped when they take it from the shelter to the vet, which is the on-site vet that we will use, which is around about 60, 70 Turkish lira. And they have themselves a nice, healthy, well-fed dog that is normally the light of their life, and they don't have any problems. But the phone lines are always open for people that take dogs. We're always ready to answer any questions. If they've got any problems, struggling, they can come, they can ask the advice. And we do home checks, so we know that the dog is safe and that the people have actually said where they're living is right, and if they're in a garden. And you can tell when you visit the dogs if they're happy or not. If they're not happy, on one occasion I did take a dog back because it just wasn't correct. The dog wasn't happy, they wasn't treating the dog correctly, so we have that authority to do that, which is quite good. I enjoy doing that when they're not being looked after. I take them back. So.
A very serious group then is FARC. Let's go back to the beginning. So here you are living in the Gazi Mausa area, and I'm sure most of our viewers know about Kyrenia Animal Rescue, which is up in Alapköy and the Guinea area. Here you are in Gazi Mausa, and do you think that there's a big, population of stray dogs that need to be looked after? Obviously, you do think that, but that's why you set up FARC. But was it a problem that all of a sudden you said with like-minded people, okay, we need to do something official now and get an official body together, get the Belediye or the municipality or the officials behind us supporting us, and we've got to do something about these dogs. I mean, how did it all start really? I mean, were you seeing dogs running around mistreated, or how did it all begin, Sarah?
It began, I think Moyra actually contacted someone in Famagusta, which was Chris, a friend of mine that worked with me till recently, about some dogs at the tip in Famagusta. And they'd all been, people had taken they dumped the dogs up there because it was a known place to take dogs to just be rid of them. So unfortunately there was bad states, a lot of bad states, very sick dogs. So
very young puppies as well.
Young puppies that were dying because there's no care, there's no mother there to feed them the milk. A lot of parvo up there, disease. So we kind of went in full steam ahead and decided, we need to do something about it, otherwise they're going to die. And being an animal lover all my life, I thought I can't sit back and just watch this happen. So with a couple of friends, and Moyra and a few of the other ladies from Gurney came and got donations going. We started building kennels and stuff like that for him, getting veterinary treatments, which we had to raise money over the internet through donations to pay the vet. And I think a year into that, the Belediye started providing a lot more food and water. They then started to pay the vets, which then took a lot of stress from us. Because obviously a lot of money each month, tick and worm tablets, everything that was needed for sick dogs. So it was quite expensive.
So Famagusta municipality are actually paying
They're
the
paying,
vets?
yes.
Because normally I would assume that any money collected by the group would then go, some of the money would go towards paying the vet fees. But actually you're not, as you say, that burden has been relieved from your shoulders.
Yes.
So you don't actually have to go pay any vet fees as such. The Belediye will help you with that.
Yes, I mean, to start with, we had to pay for everything. It was a hard struggle to begin with, but they realised that there was this set group of people that wanted this to work. So they came forward and said, okay, we'll provide the water and the food, and we'll provide the vet treatment. If you need anything, please let us know. And we started working as a group with the Belediye together so that we could all be one. And whilst they was starting to build the new pound that they're at now, so... And obviously we just transferred from there. They provide everything, the water, the food, vet care. If there's a sick dog, then obviously the staff will take them down to the vet because the vet's not on site at the moment. And basically what we need, they normally give to us within reason. You can't just ask for anything unless it is essential for the dogs.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of donations still keep coming in from all over the world, even here. It's just amazing how quick people come together. I can put a post on as a cry for help. Look, guys, we need some tick treatment and worming tablets because we don't have the Belediye brought, but we need more now. because they're waiting for a delivery from Turkey, then a lot of people just straight on the thread, where can I give this money to, what can we do, how can we get it to you? And I'm quite a strong person myself, but when the help comes in like this, it touches me really, very.
Excellent.
So.
I think, I mean, I have to say that when I'm looking on Facebook, and there are lots of different animal groups now, you know, I've had previous guests from different groups on the programme speaking about their work, and it really is touching. And I think these groups have a lot of impact. It touches everyone's hearts. When it comes to animals, cats and dogs especially, you know, if someone puts on a picture of a dog that's been abandoned, people will rally around. People will try and help out. Where is the dog? Let's go and rescue the dog. Let's feed the dog.
Yes.
It certainly touches a lot of people's heartstrings. I think a lot of people now realise that we've got to come together and support each other and try and minimise the number of endangered animals out there that need our help. Moyra, living in Kayalar, but you're actually helping with FARC now. How did it all begin for you? Where's your link in here now then?
Well, it first started with my husband and I responding to an advert in one of the other Facebook groups looking for somebody to transport a puppy from Famagusta to Girne, and we both decided that we would do that. So that was when we went up to the temporary place, and we found numerous young puppies just being left to fend for themselves, too young to eat dried food, blah, all that sort of stuff. So that's where it started. And then when Sarah got involved and Chris, and it became bigger, and we realised we needed a bit more financial support, because at that point the Bella Day weren't doing as much as they are now. We started up the fundraising for it, not so much here, but from the UK we were looking for some financial support so we could buy kennels and things because the dogs had no shelter. So my involvement has been predominantly fundraising, getting the website set up, setting up the Facebook pages and that side of it, because obviously in Kayalar I'm an hour and 45 minutes away. It's not practical for me to go up every day and help,
I mean, it's not exactly down the road for you where you can go quickly, rush to the rescue
So my involvement's been more background, and obviously as much of a support as I can be for Sarah, because she's on the front line. She deals with the nastier side of looking after a lot of dogs,
Yeah, which is good though. I mean, it's a good balance. I mean, you can help. I mean, don't underestimate the power of social media, because as I said before, I've seen so many posts on various animal groups that I'm a member of, and it can get really, really distressing. Sometimes I just have to, you've got to detach yourself sometimes and think, oh my God, some of the stories. I mean, there was one, I think, dog that was abandoned. It was nearly just bones, and they saved it. Now it's a happy story. It's a bit fed up and everything. It's been looked after well. But where do you begin and where do you stop? I mean, how do you deal with all these animals? I mean, how does it feel for you when you see? I mean, there's a dump site that people just go and dump their dogs. It's a known site. Let's go and just leave the dog there.
Yes.
That's it.
It is heartbreaking. And it totally changed me for life. It broke my heart. It did everything to me at the beginning, but you just build on what you have each day. If another dog comes the next day, you have to deal with that dog, and you also have to deal with the other dogs that are on medication or need extra care and attention, and you just deal with it. That's all you can do. You're not going to save every single dog. It's impossible. But what you can do is save a dog at a time.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you can move forward. With the help of the groups and support. And I mean, I wouldn't have gotten this far if it hadn't been for the support of Moyra, listening to me at night time, screaming on the internet, I don't know why I'm doing this, why am I doing this for? And I've got up the next day and I've gone back up there and I've looked straight in the eyes of a dog, and my heart's just gone, I've melted, I'm gone, I'm married, but my husband says that 50% of me is for the dogs.
Yeah.
So, but once they've got you, that's it. They just take you. And
yeah, it is heart-wrenching. Are you about to say something, Moyra, then?
No, I was just about to say that when you asked, why Sarah got involved, and do you remember initially in the old place, you would go in the morning and there would be a carrier bag hanging from the wire fence with puppies in it.
yes,
Where somebody had tried to throw the puppies over the fence, and you're talking about a fence that's probably 12 feet high, and the bag catches on the fence, and these puppies are left dangling. So if it wasn't for people like Sarah, you know, what would happen to those puppies?
Yeah, they just starve there.
Yeah.
And
So-
die. It is very heartbreaking, and I think, you know, over the years, and you can maybe vouch for us, this, because you've been here for 11 years at least, that it is getting better in a way, because I remember when I first came here, and, you know, owning a dog was really more of a, you know, either you were a shepherd, you had a dog, or you were, you know, a hunter and you had a hunting dog. It wasn't really seen as a pet. But now, I think over the years, especially Turkish Cypriots are more into, you know, having dogs in their homes. It is a pet. They take them on walks. They take them everywhere. You know, you can see that change. What do you think about that? I mean, is it getting better, do you think?
I
Or
would say from a few years ago, yes, it is. I mean, obviously, with the last 2 years of being heavily involved on the front line, I know and I see that having a dog is becoming more of a social thing as well. You go out with your friends, they have a dog, the dogs mix together, you go for a walk. And I have noticed a lot of change. It takes time, and it will take a long time more, but it's going to come. There will be no more suffering. There is animal rights, and the animals will get what they need.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, if you have a heart, that's all you need, is feel for the dog, help the cat, help whatever animal it is in front of you. There's no need to just walk past and think someone else is going to care for it, because they're not.
Yeah.
Doing
You know,
nothing's
it's-
unacceptable.
You know, you have to do the correct thing.
It is, I mean, you make it sound so easy, but a lot of people don't do the right thing, do they, though? I mean,
No.
throwing a bag of puppies, you know, if you can't look after them, surely, in this day and age, you can find friends and relatives, or, you know, put it out there on Facebook, I've got puppies that I can't look after for whatever reason. And then I'm sure there'll be lots of people coming and say, well, I'll take their puppy away from you. You know, why dump a
That's
dog
it.
like that? You know, it's just, you know, it just doesn't seem right.
Well, what happens is when they've done them animals, the puppies, it's not their responsibility anymore, so they go away and they don't think about it again.
Yeah, but it's conscience, though, is it?
It's, personally, my conscience, I couldn't live with myself, obviously, but, you know, with social media now, there's a lot more people coming out and speaking out, so it makes this kind of thing the not correct thing to do. You know, it's frowned upon, and people will get named and shamed for it.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
and this is also another reason why, if you're going to have an animal, get the animal neutered.
That's exactly what I was just
Therefore,
going to
stopping
say,
the
yeah.
population of the dogs and the cats and everything else that is here.
Yeah. It's actually maybe a bit of education to dog owners. It's not just having the dog and they run around free, and then, of course, you know, it breeds, and then there's more puppies to look after. If you can't look after them, then, as you say, get the dog neutered, and then you'll be fine. One dog in the house, or 2 dogs maximum, and then you're okay. You know, you don't have to worry about, you know, having 100 dogs on your hands. But you pointed out before the interview, we were just talking off air, about one major incident that was in the press, about a dog being hung in front of a young child. It was everywhere in the press, on Facebook, on social media, and a lot of groups came together. And it was actually name and shame, and how could they do it? I mean, it was outrageous. There was actually in broad daylight, and the dog, I think, was it a hunting dog that wasn't doing its job properly or something? Or I don't know.
I think it was,
I think
yes.
something like that, and they hang it up.
Yeah, she just hung it.
And this is, you know, obviously unacceptable.
No, it's not. It's
In the
animal
21st
cruelty.
century, in the year 2016, and this is not happening. So do you think now that maybe with the power of Facebook and social media and people being named and shamed, that maybe we can sort of like, you know, hurt people by saying, look, you know, look what you did, you know, you're wrong, you're bad, you're doing the wrong thing. Do you think it's going to help people to learn?
I think it's helped tremendously.
Yeah.
And, you know, if their small community village where they live are not going to say anything because they've seen a neighbour hang their dog, then I'm sorry, but the rest of the world is going to. Because with social media, that can be done. And if it's not lies and it is fact, then people have the right to name and shame them. That's it, you know, and they should be severely punished. It shouldn't just be a fine for hurting an animal, killing an animal, because that's murder. It's taking a life.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's murder. So therefore, you should do the time in jail. Not just taking 1/3 of your wages out of 1 month's wage. That's wrong. Because that's spreading the thing out there saying, okay, give me 1/3 of your wages, and you can go and kill a dog.
Yeah.
Or if your dog's misbehaving, go and hang it on a tree. You know, you can starve them. It's just not the right way.
Obviously, this is a very debatable issue here about, you know, how to enforce the law, how far do, you know, do you go? I mean, you know, somebody might say, well, I've seen that dog being abused, but when you go knock on the door, no, the dog's fine, or it looks fine maybe. So, you know, who do you believe? It could be a grudge between neighbours, you know. You know, it's a very, very precarious subject. But as you're saying, maybe if the fines were, you know, harsher, then people would think twice about abusing their animals.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, I mean, what is it just to give a little bit of money out of your wages because you've hung a dog last week?
Yeah.
You know, that's not correct.
As you say, it's murder.
It's murder. At the end of the day, it's
Totally unacceptable.
It's a living animal. It's a living thing. So it's murder.
For you, Moyra, I mean, you know, as you say, you can't always go to Famagusta to see what's going on, but, you know, you have connections and, you know, thanks to social media, you can contact each other. But what's your, I mean, you know, there are other groups maybe nearer, close by. Why is your heart with FARC, for instance? I mean, you know, you've got a close relationship with Sarah and the other members. I mean, what is it in particular? Are you very supportive of what FARC is doing? Are you sort of like saying, well, they're doing a great job, the Famagusta municipality are helping them, I'm really behind, 100% behind of what they're actually doing?
Well, FARC's really independent of the Belladie compound. I mean, the Belladie compound is there. FARC is the rehoming side of it. That was always our main focus, was to rehome as many dogs and get as many dogs out of there as possible. You know, and my involvement, I mean, I met Sarah through the pound. It's not that Sarah and I were friends before, but I was so shocked at the condition that the dogs were being left in initially. Sarah was so shocked. Sarah got physically involved. I got involved and came through a few times. And we formed a friendship through that. But I think it's our shared passion of animals and also our shared disgust at the way some people treat animals that has meant that we've bonded, and, you know, we've got the same goal. You know.
So, for instance, now somebody who's watching and who wants to maybe get a dog. So we have dogs that need to be rehomed, yeah?
Yes.
At the moment. How can somebody out there watching now get through to you? What do they have to do to get a dog?
Okay, they would contact us through FARC on the page and the group on Facebook. We also have a website, which is www.farcnc.org, which also has an email set up on there and we have pictures of each dog, their age, the sex, and what medication and everything they've had, isn't there? So they could quite happily get in touch that way, arrange a time and a place when we could meet, go up to the shelter and have a look round, see what dog catches their eye.
So, for instance, I mean, let me just stop you there for a second and say, on the Facebook page, well, not Facebook page, sorry, on the website, you've got pictures of the dogs that are there, regularly updated. So if I can just browse through that site, and I want that dog. And if it's obviously by the time, you know, hopefully it's still there by the time I contact you, but they can actually see the dog that they want to get before they've actually met the dog.
It's a proper working website it's all professionally done.
Wow.
And we've got some success stories on it as well of some of the dogs that have been adopted, before and after pictures and everything, which is always nice to see. But yeah, not all the dogs are on, but we've got probably about 150 of them on.
But then again, you know, sometimes you don't want to make a decision. You want to go and physically be with the dog and see how. And sometimes that dog captures your heart.
That's it.
You might go with one dog in mind, and then come out with a dog or two or three even.
Yes, I mean, that's fine.
Well, that's exactly what happened with our very first adoption. It was a adolescent dog, about 6 months old, that was up at the original pound, and a friend of mine who lives in Wales fell in love with him, and she said, I've got to have that dog. And she doesn't have a lot of money, and she fundraised to get him sent over to her in Wales. And that was just by a picture that we posted on Facebook.
And so that dog finally went to Wales then?
Well, that dog is leading a wonderful life. In fact, she adopted another one from us as well.
Yes.
Amazing. It sounds very, very professional, very UK style. The way that you said at the beginning of the interview that, you know, you will go and check just to make sure that dog is happy. And if you're not happy with the situation, you can reclaim that dog back.
Yes.
I mean, this is something that's not really... I don't know. I don't want to speak on behalf of any other dog charities or any dog groups, but, you know, this is very sort of like, you know, the proper way to do it. Follow up. It's not just getting rid of the dog, or, you know, that dog's out of my hands now. You actually want to make sure that the dog leads a happy life.
Yeah, it's about giving that dog the best opportunity in life. not just giving it away, because then it's one less mouth to feed and it's one less cage to clean.
Yeah.
It's not about that for FARC. In FARC, it's to be in there and watch the dog grow, and watch, I have pictures sent to me on Facebook of the progress of other dogs that have gone out, look at them now, that kind of thing. And we form special friendships on the internet as well, so you know which ones are going to good homes and which aren't. It's not just about getting rid of the dog, not for us.
And we do invite people to return a dog
Yes.
if it doesn't settle or it doesn't suit. We say to them, please don't dump it, bring it back,
bring
and we'll
the
take
dog
it back.
Yeah.
You don't mind taking the dog back as long
no.
as you know that's going to be safe in
Yeah,
your hands.
exactly.
and not
At least
dump
they
somewhere
tried,
else. Yes,
you
they
know.
tried.
Yeah.
Would you say that the people who come to you for dogs are mainly expats, or do you have Turkish Cypriots also coming looking for dogs? I mean, do you have some sort of statistics like that at all?
We have a very mixed clientele, don't we? It's half and half, actually.
Yeah, you wouldn't say it's always English person.
No. We're very mixed culture.
That's, which is good, isn't it? To
Yeah.
hear that, Turkish Cypriots are also aware of what you're doing and are willing to take in dogs. There's one thing that, obviously people like to see the dog and like to choose a breed. I mean, you've got lots of dogs out there who aren't pure breeds, obviously.
No.
And you've got maybe a majority of, would you say, hunting dogs?
Yes.
Which unfortunately is another problem, which is another issue, which is a completely different subject.
Yes.
But hunting dogs are another issue in themselves here. But would you say that you have lots of puppies that you want to rehome? Are there more mature dogs? Obviously, mature dogs are harder to rehome because they're maybe more difficult to. Maybe they're shy of humans and they're a bit more aggressive, or maybe people fall in love with those puppy eyes, not with the adults. I mean, what's the situation like when you're trying to rehouse the animals?
It's mixed on what we get adoptions, isn't it? It's not one set. I mean, obviously a lot more puppies go because young kids want a young puppy, their parents want the child to grow up with the puppy, which is fine. We do have elder dogs.
I've got one poor
One
older
poor girl.
hunting dog. She's over 8 and she was dumped, and she's our oldest, isn't she?
Yes, I mean, a middle-aged dog, we assumed he's been with us from day one. We didn't think that they would get rehomed. He was rehomed last week, so it just depends on the person. Some people want a puppy, some people want a middle-aged dog, and others just see an old dog and they think, okay, I'll look after her for the rest of her life. It depends on the person.
Which is very encouraging to hear, because you think sometimes, poor old, the older dogs probably left out. But it's good to hear that, there's a mixture of people coming for different age dogs, not always the cute puppies that have to get rehomed,
No.
Well, if it's somebody older, they don't necessarily want a young puppy that
No.
needs
Yeah.
a lot of exercise, so an older, more settled dog is better for them. And you can actually filter on our web page the age group of the dog. So if you want a dog that's between 4 and 5, all those dogs will come
Right,
up.
okay,
So,
that's good. So whilst you're searching...
yeah, you can filter it to what size you want, what sort of age group you want.
Amazing. And do you have any pure breeds at all, by the way, there? I mean...
Just a couple left now at the moment. I mean, we don't get a lot of breeds coming in.
Yeah.
Still
there's
got the
not that
huskies?
many we have huskies.
We've had a few huskies.
Husky mixers. We've had
Retrievers.
a box of retrievers.
Kangal.
A Kangal. But you don't get a lot of pedigree coming in. Obviously, the pet shops take care of that.
Yeah. Now, you said before the interview, Moyra, that you're going to be officially launching soon, in the summer, I believe.
Yeah.
So, what's actually been happening now since last year, since you started, since FARC was established? How have you kept going? Have you had fundraising events? Have you had? I mean, how does the public support you? How can we support you?
Supporting us is basically any dog beds, bedding, medications that they can grab, tick and flea collars, worming tablets, everything that the Belvedere try to provide but can't provide. They won't go out and buy beds, that kind of thing, because it's not essential for them. Because they have wooden kennels there, they have a rehab centre which all the sick dogs or the rehabilitating dogs need to be in. Basically, if you want to come and help clean the area.
As in hands-on physical?
Hands-on physical help's not a problem. very welcomed.
Because the dogs, actually, it's one of the important things that Sarah was able to do when we had less dogs, is socialise them.
Yes.
But now that we've got 300 dogs, it's very difficult to spend quality time. So people coming up and even just spending time with the dogs and socialising them would be a big help.
Playing with them,
Playing
walking
with them,
them.
Getting them not to be frightened of people.
Yeah.
That's very important. I mean, I know from Caribbean Animal Rescue up there in Arapka, you can go and walk a dog.
Yeah.
Obviously, the area is quite convenient as well to go for walks with dogs. But so really, anyone could donate anything. I mean, do you need food? I mean, sometimes with car, you can hear about people going to supermarkets and then leaving a tin of dog food or cat food or whatever. I mean, are you also willing to accept donations of food as well for the animals?
Definitely, yes. I mean, the dried food is provided by the Beledier, but also any food is welcome. Tin food is required because obviously little puppies coming off the milk, going on to solid foods. It's easier just to mix the biscuits with the food.
Yeah.
A couple of prolapse dogs that are in there that need a special diet of wet food and not dried food. Anything that animals need, we basically need. We never say no to anything because everything's welcome.
Yes. Yeah. Anything, everything out there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm sure you've got lots of people supporting you because, as I said, it's a very, very sensitive issue. I mean, the number of postings, the number of people, sharing posts on Facebook, different groups. I mean, sometimes they even, lost dogs are trying to be found.
Yes.
Or we found a dog. Is it anybody's dog out there? You know, sometimes you can see a dog wandering around. It's got a collar, which obviously highlights the importance of microchipping the animals. I mean, I read an article in the Cyprus newspaper the other day that a couple of dogs crossed over the border from Metahan, and they were microchipped. They were found, and then returned back to the TRNC. So how important is that? I mean, how funny is that can happen? So it's all very important that it goes through the right channels. So how does this launch work then? I mean, are you officially becoming a charity, a group? What will happen? What's special about this summer then that you'll be launching?
Well, it's the Beledier that will be officially opening the pound.
Right.
And to be fair, the Famagusta Beledier is the first Beledier to actually provide proper pound facilities.
Yes.
The first one that will actually be opening one. So on the back of that, FARC, we will be promoting the launch to try and get people to come along and trying to make a big day of it. If we can, and maybe have some stalls and make it a fun day.
Yeah.
How do you classify FARC? Are you just a group of like-minded people? Are you a charity? How can we describe it?
Well, we're not a registered charity. We did look at becoming a registered charity, but we work very closely with a registered charity in the Famagusta area, and they do all their fundraising. When they do fundraising events, then they give us the money.
Right.
Like they bought nearly 200 kennels for us not that long ago.
Yes, and
so
I give the money to Nadia and she will write the receipt out so everything's covered that way, and we're not just taking money for taking it. Everything's by receipt and by the book.
Because we can't, not being officially registered, we can't actually fundraise
you
as
can't,
such.
That's what I'm about to say. Obviously,
We can take donations.
Yeah, you can take donations.
Yes, you can take donations, but
I do drive around picking them up.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you are mobile, so you can go to somebody's
Yes,
house.
I have a
truck.
yes.
Have car, we'll travel.
But it's amazing how generous people are. I mean, we've had dog beds, blankets, bedding, food, toys, everything.
When it comes to animals, I really think it's all right. It just melts everyone's hearts.
Sure.
Even the toughest person can't be, made of stone. I think everyone has a soft spot for these animals. The pound in Famagusta, in Gazi, where is that located exactly? If somebody wanted to go and have a look at what's going on, where is it in the city? Can you?
It's not actually in the city. It's just outside of the city. When the actual opening day happens is when the location will be revealed.
Right.
Because at the moment you have to understand that if people find out about where it is, then they're going to start dumping more animals.
Right, which we don't want.
No.
Which we don't want, and which we're already full at the moment anyway. So once the grand opening day is to be revealed, that's when we'll reveal the address as well.
Right, so we're talking about summertime.
I would roughly think around summer. Everything's being finalised now. Electric's on, the water's starting to come on, the rehab centre's finished, the blocks have been finished. So it's just a matter of time now and just finishing off the little bits, decorating and putting the plaques up on the blocks of kennels. So
But obviously your work will continue, even though
Yes.
you'll have reached your aim of this pound in Famagusta. You'll obviously still be trying to rehome all the animals, and it'll always be, unfortunately, more and more animals to look after. You get rid of a couple of dogs, and
You get 5 more.
5 more will come along,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Obviously, congratulations to you guys for your efforts, for your hard work, and also well done to the municipality for, as you said, the first municipality in North Cyprus to actually have their own pound, because this is quite, again, a sensitive issue with other areas. There have been promises from municipalities to make a pound, especially in the Guinea area and surrounding areas, Lapta and Totokoy areas. But again, this is the first time that it's become a real it's been realised, this thing. Hopefully other municipalities will follow suit. But for now, all we can say to our viewers is, to find out more, go on to the website. Can you repeat the website name again for us one more time, please, Sarah?
www.farcnc.org.
And again, if they want to contact you, you are on Facebook.
Yes.
And is there a FARC Facebook page as well, as you said?
Yes, there is, yes.
So if they want to maybe send you a message and say, because I sent you a message, you reply straight away.
Yes.
So she's very, very efficient on Facebook. I mean, some people can be a little bit, I've got a page, but they don't really use that much. But you were very, very quick. So I guarantee you will get Sarah Jane Purcell, responding to you as soon as possible. But if they could maybe, if they want to make a donation or give you some goods for the dogs, as long as you're free, you can meet them and...
I can meet up there, yes, and meet with them and get the collection, yes.
And
yes,
if it's out the Guinea way, I
Yes.
usually pick the stuff up and take it through, or if Sarah and I meet for lunch, then that's when we do the handover.
I mean, do you meet regularly? Is there a...
Not on a regular,
Well,
not a
every
set
other month.
period, but we meet, we make an excuse to have lunch.
Yes.
An excuse.
An excuse to have lunch.
Yes.
But
Or a
it's
girly night.
a working lunch,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But you don't have, obviously, a set time of the week or, where we're going to meet.
No.
But again, if they want to contact you, let's say in the Guinea area, if they want to support you, Moyra, how can they...
On Facebook, either on Facebook, or if anybody would prefer to do it through the FARC page or the email address, either or. I mean, Sarah and I both have access to the email address that's dedicated for FARC.
Right.
And obviously there's a message facility on the FARC Facebook page as well, which we both reply to. So.
Excellent.
Anyway, and there's a dedicated phone in Turkey. There's a dedicated line in Turkish and a dedicated line in English as well. Don't ask me what the numbers are, because I don't know.
It's all on the webpage.
They're on the website, yes.
On the website.
All the
And
information.
I believe you said that the webpage is both in English and in Turkish?
You can translate, it's written in English, but you can translate it to Turkish.
Right, fantastic. Well, all I want to say is thank you very much for coming down today to Lefkosh Hotel Studios for a very, very interesting and informative programme. And I hope that, it goes from strength to strength. The work that you're doing for the animals here in the TRNC is amazing. You both deserve, you and all your supporters deserve a big round of applause. And thank you very much for, bringing some care and attention to the stray animals of North Cyprus. And good luck with the opening of the pound. And let us know when it is. Maybe we can show you out on the media here, on radio and TV here at Moyra. We can maybe, support your events. Anything that's coming up, let us know, please.
Oh, thank you.
On Saturday, this Saturday, on Salamis Road in Famagusta, is a charity sale for the dogs at 10 o'clock. It's just across from Gloria Jean's. If anyone wants to come and donate, buy some goods, the money all goes towards the dogs.
And how long will it last until the afternoon, do you
All
think?
day.
All day.
All
That's
day.
good, because actually when this programme is aired, it'll be Saturday morning.
Oh,
the
there you
first airing. So if you're watching the first airing of this programme, you can go along now to the event and support FARC, which is Famagusta Animal Rescue
Rehoming Centre.
Right, that's all right. All the information is on the website. And once again, a big thank you to Sarah Jane Purcell and to Moyra Hassan for coming in today. And thank you for watching this programme, A Cup of Conversation. Until the next time we meet on BRT2 TV, take care. Bye-bye.